Socially constructed learning. Conventional educational approaches have largely treated thinking and learning as an individual activity. Although I have certainly worked in teams in formal educational settings previously, I have never collaborated with others to the extent that we do on this course. It comes as quite a shock. In the abstract, I really like this approach. I like that it acknowledges who everyone is and respects their previous experiences. In reality, though, I find it quite stressful and unnerving. Through studying theories of collaborative learning and experiencing it firsthand, however, I can appreciate the many benefits of learning in this way. In constructivism, learning is viewed as occurring through the process of interacting with the world. Learners are recognised as individuals with different experiences, ideas, knowledge and understanding. Learners are not perceived as empty bank accounts into which knowledge is deposited by the teacher. Social constructivism builds on these ideas and emphasises the importance of learning through interactions with other people. Vygotsky, the primary thinker in this field, developed the zone of proximal development. This is the gap between the learner's current knowledge and what they can understand with the help of a more knowledgeable other. My interactions with people through this course have helped me cross this zone and move forward with my learning on numerous occasions. Our group is very diverse, with people from many different countries. We work in different areas of education or in different industries, and we all bring a range of experiences and ideas. Collectively, we are a resource. We are collaboratively constructing meaning through critical reflection and discourse. We've shared knowledge and ideas in a variety of situations. In the seminars, both in the breakout discussions and with the group as a whole, in our journals, in platforms such as Top Hat and Padlet, and in our WhatsApp group. Reading my peers' journals has helped me consider new perspectives, broadened my understanding of the application of theory into different domains. I felt able to ask stupid questions in the seminars and clarified points that I was struggling to understand. I feel that socially constructed learning also encourages me to think more critically about my own ideas and to try and present them in measured, careful ways. As McConnell writes, individually, each contributes to the group endeavour, enabling the group to accomplish more than the individual members might separately. I experienced this in Unit 8 when we worked in small groups to produce a learning activity using H5P. This was an activity I really enjoyed, and I could not have created what we produced on my own. We shared the responsibility for creating something, and by building on each other's ideas, together we made an interactive poster that fulfilled the brief. We also support each other through our WhatsApp group. I believe this serves as a community of practice. A community of practice is a group of people who share a joint enterprise and come together to learn from each other. We ask one another questions, share resources, and offer support over WhatsApp. Whilst dialogic learning is widely considered to be beneficial for learning, with connectivism described as a learning theory for the digital age, this approach is not without drawbacks, however. As we have touched on, it's not suitable for everybody. Those who struggle with social interactions may find it difficult to cope with, and in an online setting, physical disabilities may preclude others. Online, aspects of the digital divide may come into play, with internet connectivity and access to devices excluding some people. It's also important that learners are ready to engage with the topic and have completed any necessary preparation for the class. Sometimes I have found that breakout room discussions were limited as other people in the group hadn't completed the pre-seminar reading tasks. The attitude of learners is important in the success of a conversational approach. Some learners are resistant to collaborative learning and prefer to be passive receivers of knowledge from the teacher rather than active participants in their own learning. Hooks writes, that these learners may not consider their own inputs as legitimate, and instead they turn to the teacher as the source of authority. I can see this attitude in my own students. I find many of them are reluctant to expand the target language beyond what is presented in the courseware. It is also important that learners listen to each other and respect each other's contributions. Hooks notes that many learners are poor at listening to fellow students and only take note of what is said if validated by the teacher. Lessons with my students are one-to-one, so they only have me to interact with. I aim to encourage them to speak as much as possible. I try to take seriously anything they say in the hope that it will increase their confidence and help them realise the legitimacy of their contributions. I am very restricted in what I can do to improve the lessons with my students, but one thing I can do is talk with them more. One of the reasons I started this degree was because I could see serious problems in the lessons I was teaching, but I didn't know how I could improve on them. Studying dialogic learning theories and tools like the personal learning environment is showing me possibilities for alternative approaches that are empowering and enjoyable. In this module, I have learnt to be much more discerning of sources and to question what I am reading and hearing. I will continue to consider the ways in which I can engage in more collaborative and sharing activities. Collaboration is an integral part of this course, and while I do struggle with it, I can see that it is beneficial for me to join in, both for my own learning and to prepare me for future professional experiences. I realise that learning can sometimes be uncomfortable, but I have seen that studying together can also be fun. As Hooks writes, not every moment in the classroom will necessarily be one that brings you immediate pleasure, but that doesn't preclude the possibility of joy.